do something crazy? Would you make your dream happen? See, most people do not move forward in their life, and they're not successful. Not because time doesn't permit it. You are not successful because you think you will fail.
Wow.
And the more you have that in your mind, you are failing by not doing it. And you will always fail if you continue on not doing it. The minute you get up and you say, I'm going to do this, guess what? Things change.
Right.
You know, a lot of people, sometimes I was interviewed the other day in Latin America on TV, and the gentleman goes, guess what? He goes, how do you really run your company? What do you do to really be different? I said, I think we're gonna do something. I said, let's do it. I'll figure out how to do it later. But you say, let's do it, let's go. How many of you came into a multi-level marketing, you don't even know what the product's doing? I'm like, you know what? This is this, let's do the PowerPoint, let's go. Right? You don't even know what the pay plan is, and you're still like, you know what? You gotta get into the business. It's the best business possible, right? We'll figure it out later. Let's just go. You know why they don't have a convention for procrastinators? It's always empty. We gotta just do it. 2, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence. Now I want you to remember this and repeat it after me. Excellence.
Excellence.
Then it's not
an act,
but a habit.
but a habit.
Excellence.
Excellence.
Then it's not an act.
It's not an act,
But a habit.
but a habit.
Excellence then
Excellence then
is not an act.
is not an act,
But a habit.
but a habit.
If I repeat that 30 more times, you will have that memorized. Every single thing you want to do, you got to create a habit of doing it.
Wow.
Some people say, guess what? I'm not successful because you'll have your answer. If you know the answer to that question, make it a habit to creating that a habit.
Yes.
So that won't be the problem anymore. You know how I take care of problems? When people come in and says, well, I can't do it because, Thursdays I can't, I just can't. It says, I'll do Thursdays. You just bring the people. Just send them over. So I kind of squash their mentality there. Well, I can't do it because guess what? I'll say I'll take care of that. Don't worry about it. Now what? What's the next excuse? See, people with excuses will always have excuses. If you make it a habit of excuses, you will always have habits of excuses. And sometimes the hardest habit to break is that one, but you gotta break it. See, one of the things that you will always see of me, my friends, is that if I tell you we will do something, we will do it. Even if it comes to a wall, guess what? I'll figure out how to jump that wall. But we will do it. So, excellence then is not an act, but a habit. So you got to figure out all the habits you want to have. Go make a list of every single habit you want. Guess what? Every single one of these habits, just repeat it for 30 days in a row. Guess what? It becomes a habit automatically. Who here has a problem with prospecting, for example? Prospecting alone, cold prospecting? Anybody have a problem with that? Go outside, we'll go to the mall. We'll get 25 people to tell me no every single day. For 30 days, that'll make it a habit. Guess what? I'll learn through the middle.
Yes.
I'll become the best prospector in the world if I do it every day. See, the issue is, if you don't know how to prospect, it's because you don't do it much. See, now, I want you to understand one thing. How many of you know doctors? How many know lawyers? What do they call it? They practice. Make it a practice of what you do. You're a professional also. So if you're a multi-level marketing genius, you're in practice. So somebody comes in and says, hey, how are you? He goes, you know, I got this tea. It's really cool. You can lose 5 pounds in 5 days for $10 a week with the product's organic. Even the 5-month-old can use it. He goes, no, I don't need that. He goes, well, thank you very much. I'm looking for 24 more like you. Not an issue. See, a lot of people get hurt with the word no, right? Who hates the word no? Half the room. Check this out, and I want you to understand this. I want everybody to say no. Say no. No. See, I'm coming at you with this opportunity. Say no. No. I'm coming at you with this opportunity that you don't like. Say no. No. I'm coming at you with now a worse opportunity because I left the other one. I'm coming with this one. You really hate this one now, and I'm telling you it's the best. So say no. No. Yes. I'm coming back again, so this time say angry. Say no. Angry. No. Angrier. No. Angrier. No. Louder. No. Did it hurt? No. So, what are you afraid of? It doesn't hurt, right? So just go out there and look for the no's. See, if you're out there looking for the yeses, you may get what you don't want. But guess what? If you're looking for the no's and the yes happens to slide in, you're like, keep coming. Yes, I want the tea. It's like, what? I don't know. Hold on, leave me in the car. You weren't expecting it. And guess what? People's skills get better. So you start understanding people a little bit better with every single no people give you. Guess what? You start getting better and better. You start now classifying people right before they're talking to you. The more that you're classifying, you learn this art of classification, because guess what? I'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later in the PowerPoint, but classifying people is the art of making millions of dollars. If you can learn how to classify a person off the bat, guess what? You are a millionaire. We're going to teach you how to classify, because guess what? People are not talking about, hey, let's classify him as this. No. We got to find out who is the positive person. I call them red apples. See, I come from old school. Over there, they used to teach me with apples. Red apple is positive person. Yes. A green apple, which means basically it could be a green fruit, not ready yet. Maybe it has a few questions. And the rotten apples, we got a lot of those, right? Those are the negatives. The dream stealers. Sometimes they're in your household. We still love them. We can't listen. Don't take advice from people that are not creating wealth within the business that you want to acquire. See? And the reason I'm telling you this is, if I'm a mechanic, and I'm this professional mechanic, right? And I want to get better, am I going to ask a chef how to change a spark plug?
No.
Right? He may give me his opinion. He may tell me how wrong I am and how I twist it on the wrong way. But that's not his profession. He doesn't make a dime being a mechanic. Why would I take advice from a person who's not making money in that industry for something that I want to do? See, that becomes problem number one with a lot of people who are out there in this industry, is that you take advice from people who are not making the money. And the more you're taking advice from people that are not making the money, you're putting yourself deeper into a hole. The only thing I tell you is just listen to the words and use them. Knowledge is power, they say.
Yes.
But using knowledge is more powerful. And that's what we're heading towards, my friends. Number 3 out of the 4. Always take time to celebrate the small wins. How many of you hit the first rank in the other companies, for example? And nobody said nothing. It was like at school when you got that A and nobody said nothing. You suffered all night long for that A. And the only time mom tells you something is when you get a B now, right? You gotta celebrate the small wins. You gotta celebrate who you are. You gotta celebrate everything. Because if you learn to celebrate yourself, celebrations will get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as they come along. See, that's how powerful this can get. Number 4. Never be afraid to do something that you fear to do. Never be afraid to talking to people. Never be afraid of standing in front of the room. You know, people says, I will not do that. How many people do you know say, I can't stand, raise your hand if you can't do a meeting because you're afraid of standing in front of a room. Be honest. A lot of you out there, I know that. But let me tell you the facts. People who stand in front of the rooms make the most money.
Yes.
Why are you depriving yourself of making more money? Now people say, I have fear. Fear is an evil. Right? Now let me tell you this. There's a freeway right across this, right here, right next to this this hotel, right? What about if I were to blindfold you today? And I says, you're going to walk across all 8 lanes, 4 going that way, 4 going the other way. And then you're going to come right back? If you make it, I'll hand $1 million to you today. And we're going to blindfold you good. I mean, we're going to like wrap your eyes, duct tape, a sock, duct tape around that. Right? There's $1 million riding on this, right? How many would take the deal?
My hearing. Just don't mess up my hearing. I'll go.
There's a few, right? $1 million to walk blindfolded across the freeway with cars whispering by at 60, 70, 80 miles an hour. Now let me ask you, the ones who raise your hands, stand up. Okay? Check this out. Do you have kids? Do you love your kids?
Yes.
What would happen if something happens to you to your kids? Would they be taken care of?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
Is it worth losing you?
No.
So would you do it? No, right? See what happens there? There's something more valuable there, right? But what about if I can tell you now, everybody sit down? Who would not absolutely do this? Stand up. You would not do it. You have kids? How old are they?
I'm still going. I have instilled in her everything she needs. I'm going.
9. Beautiful.
I'm going.
9-year-old girl, son, girls. Beautiful having daughters, right? But your daughter, 7-year-old, you can comb her, paint, just dress her like a doll, everything else. Beautiful, right? What about I can tell you in that position when you're going across the freeway for free? You run across the freeway and come back for free. Would you do it? Not the $1 million, for free. You're gonna cross the road, you're gonna cross 8 lanes going away, 8 lanes coming back. Cars whipping by, but you're not gonna get time for free. No? What about if I blindfold your daughter and send her into the freeway? Will you jump in for her? Your heartbeat, right? You guys understand this?
Yes.
She just did it for free.
Yeah, she did it for her daughter.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of doing something you fear. You know, there's a lot of people standing in the front of the rooms. Guess what? The first time I stood in front of the room, I did the most horrible, and I'm saying horrible presentation. If I was sitting in the room, I wouldn't have signed up. I would have walked out. Horrible. But 5 people still signed up. No matter what you do, you're still the professional in front of the room.
That's right.
Even if you stutter, even if you say the wrong information, even if you give the wrong compliment. Heck, even if you name the wrong product. You know those guys who were in Manavi saying noni? They just messed up. But guess what? They still made it sell. See? Stop being in fear. Because that can really mess people up, really in the futures. Okay? And I'll leave this PowerPoint with this. I love this quote Abraham Lincoln gave. Things may come to those who wait, but only the things left by those who hustle. Now,
Yes, we hustle.
there's a lot of people
Yes,
out there that
we
say,
hustle.
guess what? I am going to get into the company. I'm going to sign up for free, but I'm going to wait to see what lands in my
We're signing up for free.
And then you got the people that, you know what, I got 20, 30, 40,000 reps already in my power, like, woo!
Signing up for free.
But, if you don't work that other leg, if you don't hustle, what good is it? It's no good at all. Some people get into businesses thinking something's going to fall on their lap, and guess what? You know what? There is the exception of the rule. Sometimes something does fall on somebody's lap, and they're pretty successful, right? It happens. That's odd. But guess what? Whatever that is, though, what they got was still what was left over from the people who hustled. See what I'm saying? So that's just something that's pretty important, my friends. I think for a lot of people. Look at this, a commercial again. So, by the way,
Yes,
I
Vida
have,
Divina. You
there
can
are
sign up with me today.
2 magazine companies here today. One of them is here from, we have a group here from Colombia, from the MLM. He's been back there, David. The CEO, MLM, was the MLM in Mexico. The number 1 MLM magazine in Latin America. Right? And then we have Networker magazine. That's in the room too. Okay? And what we're going to do, and so you guys know, as you guys are growing, I'm going to put as many of you into these magazines as possible. All right. Because it's not about who knows Armand, it's about the story we're going to build with you.
Yes.
Everybody knows my story. Nobody needs to read it again, right? It's about what we're going to build with you. That's what it is about. And the more you recognize, the more you know that, guess what? The more successful we will become.
Yes.
See what time it is? You guys want a break? Yeah. All right. Let's take what do you think, a half hour or an hour?
An hour.
Huh?